Hi everyone! So a few days ago I was in the city, and while I was there I picked up a few things at the bookstore. So I did end up getting 2 things, and I'll share those in just a minute. Before I do, I'm going to share a handful of pre-ordered volumes that I've received in the last 2 weeks, as well as a fan art poster that I just got. So for the poster, I was a little nervous because I haven't ever gotten fan art that large before. There were 2 options for sizes. One was 12 by 18 inches, and then I think the other was like 18 by 30 something, or maybe 24 by 30 something. I'll put on the screen what the other dimensions were, but on their site they said that they would be shipping them in a tube mailer, and I was really happy with how it arrived. It did come in a little box, and the poster was sealed in plastic before being rolled. And it wasn't thin poster paper, it was a thicker paper that a lot of fan art prints are usually printed on. So I had intended on putting it in a frame to begin with, but I was pretty happy that I was able to just roll the poster in the opposite direction and just leave it rolled for about 10 minutes. And after I did that, it was completely flat. I didn't have to press it or anything to keep it from rolling back up from when it was in a tube. But this is the poster. It's Sanji from One Piece. And I love it. I love all the detail on his outfit and the little accessories in the background. And when I'm holding it like this, it doesn't look that big, but it's 12 by 18, and I'm really happy with it. But this artist does have a line of these of all of the different straw hats, so they're all in this style and have the same sizes, and even the backgrounds are kind of made to be able to put the posters side by side, and then the background image continues between the different character backgrounds. But I just love it, the detail. And so I haven't worked up the courage yet to actually put this poster up on my wall, but I do have a frame that it fits into, and I've been just propping it up and he just hangs out with me. And then I also got these 4 pre-ordered volumes. So this first one here, Snow White with the Red Hair, volume 25. So I have already read this volume, and I really like this current arc that the story has been in. And I am planning on rereading a handful of the volumes leading up to this one so that I can just reread this most recent arc straight through. And I'm pretty sure that kind of the drama and the conflict that's been leading up to this volume, I think it ends in this volume, or it might end at the beginning of volume 26. So looking forward to getting into this one again. I also got A Condition Called Love, volume 3. And this is another series that I like a lot. I was really happy when it got announced that this series was going to get a physical release because it was available digital only. And just recently they announced that it's going to be getting an anime adaptation. So looking forward to that. I really hope that I'll be happy with the voice cast and that they'll just adapt the story well. So looking forward to that and excited for it. Next is Rainbow Days, volume 4. And this is another one that I was really excited when they released this in English, because I had read it a while ago and I had watched the anime, and I was really close to just ordering the whole series in Japanese because this is one that I like. So now I've just been rereading the volumes as I've been collecting them physically, and I like it. It's a shoujo slice of life that follows 4 boys in high school who all have very different personalities and who are all pursuing different romances. And the last pre-order that I got, In the Clear Moonlit Dusk, Volume 4, I really love this mangaka, Mika Yamamori, and I just love her art style, and I'm really excited to get further into this series. This one is also a high school romance. It is ongoing, so even though I had read some of it before the English volume started releasing physically, I think I've only read through maybe into volume 4, so this is going to be new content for me when I get into this one, I believe. But looking forward to it. Oh, and I forgot to mention, I don't know if you can tell the page length here. I don't know what's going on with Kodansha, but this volume, as well as when I got A Sign of Affection Volume 6, which is also published by Kodansha, they both were printed. They both were printed where there are like sections of pages that jut out longer than other pages. They're still bound securely to the spine, but it just is really noticeable when reading the book. And then additionally with this volume, let me find the section. There are a few pages that don't have a very good print quality. So I'm going to flip through 6 pages in the middle of this volume. And so if you are worried about getting spoiled for this section of volume 4, maybe just look away for a moment. But like this is the normal printing with black ink and then a few pages of just kind of faded, and then it's back to the black. So I don't know, it's not as bad as I have seen in the past with the Haikyu volumes that I found in store that were super faded and like hard to even see what was going on the pages. So I can probably make do with this, but I might try to take this when I go up to the city next and just exchange it if they have another copy that is printed normally. But I don't know, it might have just been like a whole batch that was done like this, and I'll just have to live with it. I think I forgot to mention, all 4 of these are shoujo series, so an adventure romance series, high school romance, high school slice of life, and then another high school romance series. Okay, so now for the 2 items that I got at the bookstore last week. The first thing that I got was an art book, NeiR Art. And so this is for the game series NeiR. I did recently get, it's just white on the back. I did just recently get the NeiR World Guides 1 and 2 that also have a lot of nice art, but a lot of the art in this one is concept art, and I don't really have a good setup right now to flip through this, so I'll put on the screen a little quickie flip through of this art book. But my husband has really been getting into this game series lately. And we did recently just get the first 2 volumes of the manga and the light novel Your Ha Boys. So excited to add this to our collection. And while we were at the bookstore, we actually had intended to get the Haikyu art book, and I was really excited about it. I did already get the Haikyu illustration book in Japanese before the release of the English one was announced, but I wanted to replace my copy with the English one. One, because it seemed really nice. It's hardcover with a desk jacket. It has all the same illustrations and certain things in Japanese in the art book, like names on jerseys and the school mottos and school names on banners. Those are all still in Japanese in the art style. But then extra information toward the back of the book and interviews and even a few bonus chapters are all translated into English. So I wanted to be able to have that content and be able to read it. But because it's a hardcover and because it has a white desk jacket, I wanted to be able to select the copy in person rather than ordering it from somewhere, because I just was absolutely certain that if I ordered it, it would be shipped loose in a box, not wrapped, and would arrive with the book in bad condition, possibly with the desk jacket dirty and torn. So I ordered it from Barnes & Noble to pick up in store. And then when we got there, unfortunately, they only had one copy. And not only was the desk jacket really dirty, it was torn multiple places on the front and back of it. And then even underneath the desk jacket, the hardcover was damaged. It looked as if it had been dropped pretty hard. So we decided to skip it and we got a refund. And after that happened, I complained about it in my Instagram stories, and a very kind friend offered to find a copy in good condition at his local store and send it to me. So it is currently already on its way to me, and I'm so excited and so relieved and really looking forward to getting it. But thank you so much, and I'll definitely be sure to share that art book in a future haul when I get it. And then the last item that I did get was actually an impulsive purchase. I was intending to look at it while we were in the store, but because I had just been kind of disappointed about the Haikyu art book, I was feeling kind of cranky, and I was actually holding it in my hands, and I saw how nice of a copy it is, how well the book was made. I did just decide to get this. So, a business proposal manhwa. So I did actually read this past winter, and I really enjoyed the story. There were a lot of characters in this series that I liked a lot, especially Taemu. But there was one character in this series that just drove me nuts. I couldn't stand them, and they kind of just ruined the story for me. So after reading it this winter, I was like, no, I'm not gonna buy this when it releases physically. But a few weeks ago, I started watching the K-drama For a Business Proposal, and I'm really enjoying it. And surprisingly, the character that I couldn't stand in the manhwa hasn't really been bothering me in the K-drama. So I figured if I can enjoy that character in the K-drama, I can probably appreciate their role in the manhwa when I do my next read-through of it. And then this way, getting it, I could also enjoy having physical copies with Taemu, because he is so handsome. And when I did read this the first time, I probably took 100 screenshots just of him as I was going through reading it. So we'll flip through it a little bit. But it is a kind of workplace romance that starts out from a blind date swap. She covers for her friend who is going on a blind date that doesn't want to. But there's just a lot of kind of absurd humor in this and ridiculous situations that they get themselves into, but I like the humor in it. I love the character designs. Oh, and I'm just so excited to have plenty of Taemu in my collection now. But yeah, I'm also looking forward to the future volume releases because this one is green. I think volume 2 is pink, and then just all the rest of the volumes are all just really cute, bright colored pastels. So once I have more of this series, I feel like it will be really pretty on my shelf. And it's complete already at 10 volumes, so even though these volumes are kind of expensive because they're color pages and like a heavier book because of the paper they used, each volume is going to be $20. So if I can just be frugal and try to order future copies with bigger discounts, it won't be too huge of an investment to add this series to my collection. And then one other item that I was interested in looking at the store, but unfortunately it wasn't in stock when we went, was March Comes in Like a Lion. So volume 1 was just released and I'm considering getting it still, but I wanted to be able to actually look at it physically and touch it and flip through it a little bit. I've watched the anime, but I haven't read the manga. I haven't even hardly seen the art style of the manga other than just like this week what I've seen people posting on Instagram. But from what I've seen, the copies look really nice. They have French flaps, so that's one that I did want to flip through in the store and couldn't, but am now considering picking up that series as well. So we'll see. But for now, these are all my pickups from when I was in the city, as well as my pre-orders that I've gotten recently, and then also my Sanji poster that I just shared earlier. So yay! But I hope you enjoyed coming along with me to the city, shopping at my local Barnes & Noble, and looking at my haul with me. So I'll see you again soon in another video. Thanks for watching.